Hi, I'm Thalia Roda,
I'm Lauren Waldrop.
and we'll be looking into the capture techniques of non-native capybaras in Florida. Capybaras are a large herbivorous rodent native to South America that has been introduced to Florida in about 1992. Little is known about the current wild population in Florida, and there is no record of capturing non-native capybaras within the state. As a result, there is no management to prevent the non-native capybara populations from increasing, outcompeting native wildlife, and transmitting zoonotic diseases. In this project, we'll be discussing the most effective methods of capturing a capybara for research and management purposes.
The first method we'll look at is lassoing. This method involves cowboys chasing and attempting to lasso capybaras from horseback. A few pros to this method include that capybaras tire quickly when being chased. This method allows for marking of individuals and less unintentional recapture of the same individual. A few cons are that capybaras are able to run relatively fast. When being chased, capybaras tend to break away from social groups and run in different directions. It may cause stress and hyperthermia, and it may require two cowboys to restrain individuals.
Another method is corralling. A corral is a large fence with the goal of capturing gregarious animals. The fences are made of metal mesh that can be shaped into a funnel, or there can be a gate that closes when the animals enter. The fences can even have a top that curves inwards to prevent any push-throughs or scaling attempts from the animals. The capybaras would be lured into the herd as a herd into the corral with the bait like sugarcane. Some pros is that it's a low stress method and it's not too invasive to the capybaras, so hopefully they'll enter on their own volition. This trap can also hold a large amount of capybaras at once with enough room to move around, and this trap is secure and it's difficult to escape once inside. Some cons include that it might be difficult to convince animals to enter the corral if they are suspicious of the trap, either from the material or they may hear other capybaras panic within the corral and they won't enter. Also, the bait may lure non-target species, such as smaller rodents, and they might eat all the bait, leaving none for the capybaras. And lastly, the materials for the corral trap can be expensive, and just setting up the trap will require a large team and a large amount of time.
The third method we'll look at is suitcase traps. The design of this trap consists of two metal frames held together with spring hinges. The trap is opened and left out until an organism triggers the springs in the center of the trap, which results in its capture. Some pros for this include that it allows for bait to be used. It can be placed along water edges, which is part of a capybara's preferred habitat. It can be highly selective for trapping semi-aquatic mammals, which may reduce bycatch, and non-target animals can be safely released. Some cons are that it may be bulky and labor-intensive to use. The trap design often has powerful springs, which may cause injury to the animal, and association with painful capture may cause individuals to avoid recapture. Also, animals may drown if the trap is improperly set up and does not remain above water.
The last method that we'll discuss are handheld nets. Capybaras up to 6 months old can be hand captured with a net, and this can be used to capture capybaras in the water and on land. Some pros is that the capybaras can be scooped if they're in the water, and this would be effective if the researcher or manager was on a boat or couldn't easily reach the capybara without a net. Also, the capybara will eventually tire out, making it easier to capture on land. And the researcher and manager can avoid being clawed or bitten by using the net to distance themselves from the animal. Some cons is that if the capybaras are older than 6 months, they may not fit inside the net, and if they do fit, they'll be too heavy to carry. The capybaras are also very fast, so they would be easy to lose, and it might be challenging to keep up with them until they eventually tire out. And lastly, the nets may harm or force the capybaras into an uncomfortable position, and the researcher may even miss the capybara but accidentally injure it while swinging.
Finally, we will provide some recommendations. Since capybaras in Florida have a low detection rate, we suggest using a pre-trapping detection method. One method is detection dogs that would be trained to detect capybara and their scat. Another method is camera traps, which could be set up over a long period of time. These detection methods can help ensure that trapping efforts are used most efficiently. After analyzing several potential methods, we consider corralling to be the most effective method. This method provides a less intrusive technique to gather capybaras in large numbers. The ability to trap several capybaras at once provides a benefit from a management perspective. This trapping method also reduces the probability the capybaras will escape once captured. According to Rosenfield et al., this method has been proven to be effective in the capybara's native range. As long as the habitat of Florida allows for the application of this technique, it should be a very effective method of catching capybaras.